Starting to see he can land his shots, and he's doing it. Now let's see if the doctor comes into the ring to look at Nicholson.
I believe he is coming up there, Harold. They will get a close look at that eye. Here's Norman Stone, action from round number 8.
Here we have a replay. Nice left jab, but then a hard left jab by Johnny Ruiz. Matt Mullaney conferred with the commission doctor, and they decided to let it go.
Round number 9, we head into the last third of this fight, and very, very tight on the scorecard.
And certainly, Donnell Nicholson, his left eye is virtually closed up. I mean, it's a swollen mess. It's cut, it's bruised, I mean, it looks just awful.
Yeah, he has probably about 20% vision out of that left eye, which means that the right hand will be coming in there and nobody will see it.
Exactly. If Johnny Ruiz keeps throwing overhand rights, I don't think Donnell Nicholson's going to be able to see him coming.
So there should be a little bit of urgency in Donnell Nicholson's attack here in this round. So it's only going to get worse.
Donnell's got to keep Johnny Ruiz off with that left jab.
Johnny Ruiz has only been to the 9th round once, and Donnell Nicholson has only been here once. So, once again, not very experienced fighters when it comes to the amount of rounds. A quick right hand snaps back the head of Nicholson.
Interestingly enough, Donnell Nicholson told me he didn't even start fighting until he was 20 years old.
And 3 years later, he's fighting for the U.S. Olympic team.
Exactly. He started back in 1988 as an amateur. 46-4 record as an amateur, Donnell Nicholson, but the 4 losses with the good fighters, including Felix Savon.
Johnny Ruiz, since about midway through the 7th round, has got the old proverbial second wind. Back on his moving well, getting some good shots in, moving his head, a little bounce in the legs. You know, he's kind of a lunger, but he's pretty accurate when he lunges, Harold.
Yeah. And certainly Donnell with that bad left eye is having a lot of problems.
Midway through round number 8. And when Ruiz crowds him, Nicholson just cannot get enough space to get his big shots off.
But I'll tell you something, I just don't think that in this round Johnny Ruiz has been busy enough. He's got an advantage and he's just not busy enough.
Check, there's round number 9. Some clinching here. Matt Mullaney letting them kind of punch them way out, and Nicholson does, but no punches landed of any telling nature.
Nice right hand by Donnell Nicholson.
Both fighters have showed very, very good skills here, and you have to wonder how either one of them will fare against Larry Holmes.
Norman Stone keeps screaming to Johnny Ruiz to keep working, but Ruiz is really not working enough.
Round number 9 coming to a close. Nicholson on the attack, kind of a good combination by Ruiz as we end round number 9. Very, very good fight. Tremendously competitive.
Good work, baby.
Look, Goody Petronelli and Norman Stone work in the corner. 3 more rounds. There's a look at Johnny Bizarro as he works up a sweat for his bout. That'll be against Roger Mayweather. Goody Petronelli working there. In the background, Johnny Bizarro and Roger Mayweather. That will be for the IBO welterweight title. That is next after this very competitive matchup. As we can look at the corner of Johnny Ruiz.
Now here we're going to see a replay from round number 9. Donnell Nicholson coming forward and lands a long right hand that snaps back the head of John Ruiz, who has to clinch and hold on. typical of what happened in round number 9.
They call these the championship rounds, don't they, Harold? 10, 11, and 12.
Absolutely. And I want to tell you, this fight is nip and tuck. This is either guy's fight. Either guy could win this decision. This one's close.
I think both fighters know the next 3 rounds as Ruiz tries to put the pressure on. And that cut on the left eye of Nicholson is going to take many, many weeks to heal.
Now, I'll tell you something. I'm absolutely convinced that the presence of Emanuel Stewart in that corner, since he's so well respected as a cut man, that's helping, Donnell Nicholson with the doctors. Because, the doctors know that Emanuel can do a good job to close that cut. And I think they're giving him every break. If there were a lesser known trainer in the corner, the doctors may have stopped it already because that eye is bad.
Andy Stewart's worked the corners of a lot of great champions. Tommy Hearns, the Milt McQuarries, Hilmer Kenty, Michael Moore. We got Gerald McClellan before McClellan went out on his own. So Manny's done it for everybody.
Right, and after this fight, he goes right to Mexico to work with Oliver McCall and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Nicholson trying to get that big right hand untracked.
And Hugh, Johnny Ruiz is starting to look tired. I mean, he's just not as busy. He's not punching the way he should. He's not busy enough.
At the same time, Nicholson really hasn't turned up the heat enough to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I know. But he's backing him up, and doing what he has to do.
Look at the big uppercut was Ruiz and just grazed the face of Donnell Nicholson.
Nice left jab by Nicholson. And Nicholson's long shots, that hard left jab that was.
Trying to get that right hand in there. Gets turned around inside. Nicholson shows a lot of very, very good skills for his limited boxing experience.
Exactly. I think it's because of the fact that he fought so many good amateurs. That international competition certainly helps. He knows what to do when he's hurt. He's picking up the pace. He's backing up Johnny Ruiz. But it's either guy's fight at this point. Very, very tight fight.
Ruiz getting in there with a couple shots. Not the kind of power that he had early.
No, Johnny Ruiz is just throwing one shot and grabbing.
And that's not his style. He's got to get in a lot of shots.
And there was another good scoring punch by Donnell Nicholson and 2 more good shots. You see, these are the shots that grab the judge's eyes.
And this is also the time where the weight differential and the power differential, I think, starts to really wear on a fighter. And much to his credit, Nicholson, although not really having it his way early, did keep his head above him, and about him, I should say, and stayed in the fight. Now appears to be physically taking control. And with about a 5% vision out of that left eye.
Nice left hook for Johnny Ruiz.
Inside 10 and round 10. Very, very good round for Donnell Nicholson, although Ruiz is in every exchange. Just checking Harold's scorecard here in just a second as we get a look at Norman Stone imploring his fight of John Ruiz. He's got 6 more minutes of championship boxing to make Puerto Rican athletic history. He, of course, would be the first Puerto Rican heavyweight champion as we can look at the master, Manny Stewart.
He's all right? Okay. Give him another.
Yeah, one more round.
This is the fight. Let it go all the way this round, Donnell. Hit the right hand at the shoulder.
We've overheard the fact the ringside position, Harold, 1 more round.
John, you got it. John.
We'll have to see how things evolve here with the IBO heavyweight title. Look at,
I would hate to see him stop it in the 12th round, let me tell you.
Yeah,
a very tough, competitive fight.
Round number 11, scheduled for 12. Matt Mullaney gives him the signal to go at it. And if that's the case, I think Donnell Nicholson would really have to let it all out here in the next 3 minutes.
Matt Mullaney's doing a nice job in there. Good referee.
When you got big guys like this, they're really hard to control. And he's done a very, very good job keeping the action going.
with heavyweights, you just can't stand back and yell break. You have to get in there and drag them apart because otherwise they won't break. And that's what Matt's doing. He gets in and he pulls them apart and he's keeping the fight moving.
They cut open again as Manny Stewart did the best he could after round number 10, but quickly that nice left. Now the right in there by Nicholson. 2 good shots from outside, and Ruiz holding on.
And once again, as I say, those are the shots that really catch the judge's eyes.
They're clean. Everybody can see them.
Exactly. And let me tell you, clean punching is 90% of scoring a round, without question. I mean, effective aggressiveness certainly counts in defense or, ring generalship, but it's the clean punching that the judges see.
Ruiz trying to get into with a combination, not as accurate as he was.
The problem is Johnny Ruiz is going backwards when he should be coming forwards. He's letting Donnell Nicholson back him up, and when a big man starts to back him up, the big man's going to score. And that's what's happening here.
The combination inside by Ruiz, broken up, and Nicholson gets his right.